everyone, it's me, Rina Deshpande. Thanks for tuning in. I wanted to thank Rachel in particular for asking a couple of times for a video on Ujjayi breath in particular, and what it means to practice and how to practice simply. So I'm just taking a very short break. I'm writing at the moment, and there's no special time or place that you have to practice this practice, but it can offer some heat building in the throat and some clearing, what we call kriya, in the body in order to find a place of stillness and restfulness. So a little cultural context. Pranayam, in English we often say is pranayama, and in English we tend to open and elongate the vowels, which is fine and beautiful for a language. In Sanskrit, however, if you think of a bell and striking the bell, it's a vibratory system. And so the sounds are a little bit more vibrational and shorter. So in particular, pranayama is actually pronounced pranayam. Even I am not pronouncing it exactly right because I was born with an American accent as well. But it's just important to recognize that Sanskrit is less about a pronunciation, like a word, but more of the vibration that it can strike within us, if you choose to use Sanskrit. In this breathing practice in particular, Ujjayi means, it's an ocean breath. So it means that you're actually creating a level of heat in the back of the throat by constricting. And this heat that we're generating, we already have heat in our body, which is so cool, right? If you touch your hands right now, you have heat. There's blood flow and movement in your body. In yoga terms, we call that tejas. Again, in English, it might be spelled or sounding something like tejas, but it's more short, tejas. You might even know maybe usually a guy named Tejas that you may have met. This heat energy lives within us, and from this we can also create and intentionally use and direct tapas. And tapas is a heat that we think of in clearing something when you consider a fire. What can we do with a fire? We can sanitize things. If we use it appropriately, it can be very productive and very helpful in cleaning and clearing, in warming the body, in comfort, in clarity. If we're misdirecting our heat energy and it can run wild, it can create a lot of volatility in the body. So this is why it's really important to feel as centered as possible as we're practicing this practice. So, seated comfortably on a mat or a cushion or a chair, wherever you are, just relax the body and begin to sit upright. Sit tall, relax the shoulders. I tend to lift my shoulders because I carry bags. The shoulders get trained to lift up. The muscles are so smart. So we have to sometimes talk to the shoulders and the body a little bit just to bring them back down. And let the spine be tall and long. Let the head float. And just notice what that feels like. Notice the positioning of your hands. If you're gripping, see if you can ungrip them. Can rest even just like a little cup. Nice. And then as we practice Ujjayi breath, consider your own breathing history and your makeup. If you have a history of anxiety or if you have struggles with breathing, you can always let go of the practice and just resume a natural breath, okay? So, a nice way to start, one of my favorite teachers, Jean, actually taught me this, is to have your hand in front of your face and you can feel the heat, like you're blowing that heat to moisten and fog up some glass or a mirror. Just taking your hand. We'll start with the out breath, so breathe in. And as you exhale, breathe out. Feel the heat on your hand. That's the same heat that's created by constricting the vocal cords. The vibration is tighter and therefore generates more friction and heat. That's the scientific aspect of it. Try again, inhale. One more time, inhale. Now we can try this with closing the mouth, and we'll let the hand down. So as you inhale, you will breathe in fully. Exhale, keeping the mouth gently closed. You can still constrict the back of the throat, breathing out through the nose, okay? So inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Go for a moment, just notice how you feel. The eyes might naturally want to close, let that happen. You can keep them open on a point also, or on me. Good. Now this practice of Ujjayi on the exhalation is enough. If you'd like, you could also try inhalation with Ujjayi and exhalation with Ujjayi. The inhalation tends to be associated with a little bit more feeling of worry, or am I doing this right, or a little more constriction. So if you feel like that, you don't need to do it. If you feel comfortable in that experience and you can stay with it and elongate, then stay with the experience. So same way that we just practiced, you'll also constrict the breath on the breath in, so constricting the throat on the breath in and the breath out. Okay, so inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And pause. You can continue natural breath or continue with Ujjayi if you like. Just notice how you feel. Notice if you feel warmer in the body. Typically that's a sensation you might feel, maybe not. Relax the teeth apart. So you can continue the Ujjayi breath even for 1 minute. You could do it for 5 minutes. You could also do this practice while you're practicing surya namaskar, which is a sun salutation in the physical yogasana practice. It's something that again is helpful and supportive with clearing out the body, clearing out the thoughts in the mind, creating and channeling that tapas, that heat in the body to help us slice through any of the problems or ruminative thinking that we might be going through. So setting a timer helps, practicing when you feel the call to practice. And again, you are your own guru. Guru means remover of darkness. And what that means is that you have the opportunity to not force yourself through the practice, but observe yourself in the practice and modify to support your own needs, because you know best where you are. So thanks so much for practicing with me. I hope that this is a helpful tutorial for you. I hope you were able to learn something. I know I always do every day, so thank you to my teachers, and thank you to all of you.